Good morning, all your precious souls. I greet you this morning, which is at the last day of 2023. What a year it has been. You know, I'm sitting here this morning and I'm just thinking that last year this time I could not walk. I actually could not drive my car. And, well, so 2023 has been a year of challenges in a lot of ways for me, and I'm quite sure for all of the rest of you, as health issues started to come up, and also a lot of other things that were challenging in a lot of ways, and I think that we all felt it at some level or other. But with it, it has been a year of miracles, for which I can just say thank you. And first of all, before I start with my New Year's message, I just want to, as my heart is overflowing with grace and gratitude, to thank each and every one of you for being present in my life in whatever form or way this may be. I am especially thankful for those who are helping me on my journey. And first of all, who comes to mind is Jill from Howick. Jill Coombs has been my anchor and stay since I started my journey in a lot of ways. But also, and funnily enough, we met on one of the battlefields in Natal. And she helped me to realize, because that was the time of my great awakening. And my psychic abilities came on the sort of like switched on. And Jill helped me to actually realize that I wasn't going mad, but I was actually just awakening on a lot of levels. Since then, she's become my editor. And I can just say thank you to Jill, because she is really one who has put a lot of work into my books. I've done the writing. You need somebody to actually edit it for you and put it into a form that can be published. And so this year has been a year where my France book has finally sort of come into form and being. And also now this month, my Intricacy of Soul relationship book, which will be available in January next year. We had a bit of problems with the holiday times here in South Africa and uploading the book on Amazon. But it will sort itself out. Here in South Africa, everybody takes holidays at this time because it's peak summer holiday season. And one just has to also understand that the internet and everything gets overloaded. So especially in the holiday towns, and I do live in a holiday town, so everything is sort of bursting at the seams. So it just gets a bit overloaded. But that's life. You know, one has to be flexible and bending, and one is not always in control, which is a very good thing, because that teaches you to actually sort of go with the flow and not think you've got to be in control. Actually, we're not in control, whatever way you look at it, because there are much greater things happening at the moment at universal and galactic level, and we are but the players in the field in a lot of ways. But there's a big plus to that. I'm not talking about the old 3D work here. I'm talking about universal levels and what our souls agreed to do before we came into this planet. And then I can't leave out, and I just want to give my sincere thank you to Janet Folmer Haywood, who has been the second editor of my book, and she has really sort of put a lot of time and effort into it. Thank you, Janet. You are in such a beautiful, beautiful addition to all of this. And the France book, well, living in France as you do, that has just been such a great help. I'm just so grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then Vanessa Wilson, who's my publisher from Quick Fox Publishing in Cape Town. Anchor and stay with, it's just been amazing. She has the ability to put books together in the most beautiful way. And my France book is just a gem, just like my Africa book has been. So I just say thank you, Vanessa. And of course, Adele, who does all the admin work, I say thank you, Adele, as well. And then I want to thank my admin staff. You know, my work has grown exponentially. And as much I want to do everything personally, I was suffering from burnout. And then I had to realize that I can't do everything myself. I had to be very, very self-reliant since my awakening. I had to build up everything from scratch, from literally nothing. And it's just grown too much for me to handle, because otherwise I can't put my best into my work and my soul readings and my books and my writings and my teaching as well. So I just want to thank Bianca for holding the thoughts, and now also Claire Pels, who's taken over the admin work. Without my admin staff, I can't function. I just say thank you very, very much. And I also want to thank my IT team, who are my backups and who are helping me in all forms and ways. Nikki, who does my newsletters, and Renee, who does the IT, the website. And then also I want to thank Leslie and Hein, who are my IT backups. I just want to thank you very much, for nothing can function without them. And I want to thank all my students this year who have done the White Flame course, and also who've done the 2 courses that I did in the last quarter of the year, and that is, of course, the Divine Laws and the Divine Imprint. You are such a beautiful group of souls, and you know, I learned so much from you as you learned from me, because a teacher is actually not a teacher, it's just somebody who's a way shower, and as much as I am a way shower, you teach me so much as well. And there's been such a loving and supportive community that is growing out of us, because as you finish the courses, you are busy lighting up the world in your own way. And I thank each and every one of you. Thank you. And as, of course, the White Flame, of course, I am going to do again in 2024 as guided, because the information contained in there is immensely valuable, and it helps you to navigate these accelerated ascension energies. And I just want to also now thank each and every one of you who has come to me for soul readings. My soul readings are more and more in demand, so I am at the moment fully booked for 6 months and more, up to 9 months now. And I just say thank you. I'm doing my best to get through all of them, but I can only do so much because I want to do my best. And if my batteries get flat, then I'm not giving my best. So it is a matter of doing what I can do with great love. And I'm so grateful that I can be of highest loving service, because I see how it is positively, from the feedback I'm getting, how it is positively helping you and impacting on your lives. I'm so, so grateful that I can be a divine instrument in this regard. And I want to thank all of you who are daily sort of commenting on my posts, reading them, and also my videos that are on YouTube. So much gratitude for all of them. I can't go and say personal thank you to each and every one all the time, because it's just an impossibility. But I do appreciate it, and I thank you so much. And as we come to the end of this year, which has been challenging, but you must remember that we are now having to undo the programming of many, many lifetimes and many existences, and our ancestral programming as well as humanity's programming as we are freed. It ain't come easy, as somebody once said to me. Life isn't easy. And I am remembered when I was still in my 20s, I was in this retreat for 10 days, and we were really getting challenged to the core. And we went to dear Uncle Louis, and he said, Uncle Louis, we are quitting this. We can't handle this anymore. And he said something that I will never, ever forget, because it really gave me a totally different view of life at that stage. And he said to me, you are the generation of the instant. You switch on the kettle and instantly you've got hot water. And of course, in those days, you didn't have microwaves and those things, and you didn't have cell phones. He said you pick up a phone and you can speak to anyone, anywhere. You press a button and there it happens. See, life is not that way. You've got to work through problems. You've got to have a staying power through challenges. And you know, that has stood with me through the most challenging times of my life. Yes, it is not easy to go through these transitions. Yes, we are being challenged, because we are being challenged to go and undo all the programming that are sometimes so unconscious that we're not even aware of it. And you must remember that a lot of us are souls that have been here since the very beginning. And unlike what the archaeologists and the historians tell us, our history doesn't start just 12,000 years ago. It starts billions of years ago. That's what my books attest to, and my soul readings. So you have been here for so many lifetimes. And a lot of us are way shower souls. We have been the ones that have been the teachers, the ones that have been the ones that always came to hold the light steady on this planet. We got persecuted, we got whatever. We have all now returned to see this work in completion. And then I'm talking to the new souls. Those have been actually born since 1994. And then the newest souls are 20,012, and now the new children are coming in, which are the celestial sun children. They've never had lifetimes here before. So you are relatively new to this planet, and of course you will have challenges, especially in the old 3D and the old paradigm. But now we are like having a portal open. And this portal is now lifting us into a totally new life and a new existence. As long as you cling on to the old life, you are going to have pain somewhere along the line. It's time for us now to ask for the release of all patternings of pain, all patterns of pain and suffering that were ever created within us and the rest of humanity. It is null and void. The past is past. In this present moment, you are already co-creating the new golden age and the new humanity. That is a huge responsibility. You know, many people can give you activations, but the onus always rests upon you to do the inner work. And that is a daily business. It's not just something that is like, okay, I can do it today and then tomorrow I forget about it. But then I go and do the same thing. Humanness. And it's okay to make mistakes. Just try not to repeat them again. And it's also very good to sometimes just simply take yourself in the arms and hug yourself and say, oh, well, there we go again. I know once, and I was struggling with anything, my guardian angel actually sort of said to me, you know what, there you go again. I was rolling her eyes. Both had a good laugh. And I bet you have all your guardian angels somewhere rolling their eyes about that. It's okay. That's what it means to be human. You know, dear Jill, she actually picked up the other day. She said, oh my goodness, Judy, I actually saw you standing in front of the Universal Councils and actually explaining to them what it is like to be a human. And you were pleading on behalf of humanity. A lot of the intergalactic and universal souls are of such a high dimensional state that they don't know what pain and suffering is about. It's something that humanity created for itself at the fall of Atlantis when we fell into duality. You must remember that they don't know wars. They are at peace. Their whole life is a demonstration of co-creating within universal laws. I know that I do a lot of intermediary work in my other state. And lately I also have been called upon to do a lot of remote work, energy work, mainly because I wasn't mobile. And I'm still battling to be mobile, but it's okay. It has taught me a lot. It's taught me to also accept help from other people when I couldn't cope anymore. And me, who's been so very independent all my life, forced to be independent. But that is where one understands that we're all in this together. And we can only help each other when we hold each other's hands and see this through. When the heart is open, when the heart and soul are open to the core. And when we have compassion for our fellow men's and women's struggles. But more than this, to not get sucked in, but to rather be that loving steadiness that sees this through. And in a deeper level, it means loving yourself into the deepest shadow and the highest light. Boy, we all have that. There's not one of us that doesn't have it. It's not to go and sever your shadow, it's to welcome it, because it teaches you a lot about yourself. It teaches you about your ego, your negative ego, that which is holding you in fear, that is holding you still in bondage of the old 3D. It's time to transcend that. And you know, there is something so beautiful that is opening up for all of us. When we start to get in unity with ourselves deep in, because peace and serenity are something that you need to treasure and grow within yourself by accepting the divinity that is there within yourself. The Christ, the Buddha, the Atma, the eternal self lives within you. The I am that I am. There's something which is so beautiful now because our soul is merging with the soul groups and the soul groups are merging. There have been soul groups that have been here with illumination from the very beginning. And they are busy now forming these huge groups now, which are bringing that new concepts, that new creation into form and being. Yet it all starts within you first of all. It doesn't start outside you, it starts inside you. And the greatest thing I can give you as a gift from my heart and soul, and with great love, is to now lovingly, if you can today, just sit quietly and ask yourself, what is it that I wish to co-create for the new humanity, the new human race of which I am one because I am ascending into it, I am assuming my new light body form, my new crystalline solar light body form. That is a gift to humanity, where I can use my higher soul gifts and talents in a higher way, in a more loving way, in a way that's going to benefit the whole of humanity. And this is the time where we need to learn to be self-sufficient. You know, when I remember my parents, they always had a vegetable garden. They always planted fruit trees wherever we went. And you know, there's nothing like picking your own vegetables from your own garden that you have grown there using no pesticides, nothing that can kill anything, because the pesticides kill you in the end and they kill everything else. I was at the raptor center here where they actually rehabilitate all the raptors, which includes the owls and the eagles, etc. And something was said that day which really impacted on me, where I understood how we actually affect our environment. And then he said that most of the owls and the raptors are dying these days because of the pesticides, because the mice and everything else also eat the pesticides. And what happens? These raptors die, or the mice and things they eat and whatever. But he said they're actually now going over to the farmers and they're starting to educate them, saying that if you put owl houses down in your fields, you will have no mice left, because an owl needs to, especially when it has babies, needs to take a lot of rats out and mice, etc., to actually feed them all. And sure enough, the farmers that actually started to do that have got no problem with anything anymore. Because you must remember, there's also those that eat the insects, etc., like something. The beauty of a new earth is that all the ecosystems and all of these birds and animals and everything will start working together again as one, as it's meant to be. We will start to work with the elementals again, and that's the fairies and the gnomes, and yes, they do exist. They never stopped to exist. They just withdrew themselves because humans were trying to misuse them. That was at the time of Atlantis. They are still there. They never left. They came here with humanity from the Pleiades. The Pleiadians brought in the elementals. And that includes the dragons, and it also includes a lot of other beings like the unicorns. They're all real. You know, we have been so programmed to see that anything that we can't touch and that we can't prove is real is not real. That's not the truth. 99% is not visible to the eyes. It's not there that you can take it and prove it and measure it and put it into a nice little box with a nice label. Those boxes and those labels need now to dissolve. They are of no use to humanity anymore. Science is going to come to the stage where they realize that if they take divinity out of science, they're not going anywhere. Because the new science is consciousness. The new science is conscious of itself as part of the universe and the multi-universes and the whole cosmos. We never were a planet on our own. We've always belonged to the solar system and to the galaxy and also to the universe. It was only with the fall of Atlantis that we sort of forgot who we were. The intergalactic races are here, and they're not, like I said so often, are there to destroy us. That's not true. There are highly evolved races, as I said before, that are just peaceful and want to help humanity through this. That's why they are here. They are going to help us to come through this thing, but they're also going to help us to bring the balance back, to clean the waters, to clean the air, so that in the new earth we have got crystal clear waters and the air. But you can help at this moment by blessing the waters, by blessing the air, by blessing the fires, by blessing Mother Earth, by blessing the animals, by blessing the birds, by blessing the insects. Yes, I know I don't like mosquitoes either, but I always ask them to go somewhere else. It works. Try it. You start communicating with them telepathically, like I've done with the lions and with the elephants and with the whales and the dolphins. And you will start to communicate with them, and you will see how much they've got to teach you. Yes, teach you. Teach you. And you know, something that the elephants have told me time and time again was, you fenced us in. You put boundaries and you stopped us from walking the elephant trails. And it is that we are walking those trails to keep the earth's energy lines clear. They were doing service work. What do? We put them in game reserves. And we kill them when they get out of that. It is time to understand that there are no boundaries. You can't say this is my country and now put boundaries down. They're artificial. We are one humanity. We are one world. We are one earth. You know, this year I was actually called upon to go to the Addo Elephant Park, and I was communicating with these elephants. And you know who appeared to me when I was clearing that energy of all these elephants that were hunted because of ivory? I saw pictures of it when I worked in the museum archives, of these elephants being put like pyramids on top of each other just because they were killed by hunters for their ivory. And elephants are social creatures. They look after you. And you know, when I first got here to the elephant sanctuary, I'll never forget, the guy was working in the curio shop. He said, you know, I came to teach the elephants. Now they are teaching me. I came to care for the elephants. Now they're caring for me. But the elephant message was so strong. And you know, the day that I arrived there at Addo Elephant Park, I stopped in. We were going to this dam. And this dam is called after an elephant called Hapoor, because he had a hole in his ear. And Hapoor was one of the most persecuted elephants that there were before the park was created. And then only 7 elephants were left, and they were put into this park. Thank goodness somebody did look after them. But Hapoor always used to escape because he couldn't be fenced in. Well, that day we were at this dam, and the elephants started coming in. Tribe upon tribe upon tribe of elephants. I've never seen so many elephants in my life. And they were paying homage to this elephant. And they would come and stop next to the car, and there was this beautiful heart-opening exchange between me and the elephants and the 2 ladies who were with me. It is something I will never forget. I have seen the most beautiful love that these creatures have, not only for humanity, but also for the rest of the earth. And the next day I had to go and clear the energy there of all the elephants that had been killed, and how the earth has been stripped by human beings. Yes, 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 in many ways. We who think we're so intelligent, what have we done? Not all of us. But that doesn't make it any better. It's that healing that needs to come from the land now, and the healing that needs to come from the earth, so that we can step into the new earth wiser, in unity with ourselves, but in unity with everything else. And you know, when I was doing this Hapoor elephant, that old patriarch stood in front of me. And he could finally be released in the freedom of all existence. I had tears. This is coming up this morning, that we finally learn to release the old earth and all we miscreated upon her with great love, so that we can now step into co-creatorship in a higher state of consciousness, where we understand that there is only love, or else is illusion. But love starts within ourselves and recognizing the divinity within ourselves. And if we recognize the divinity within ourselves, we cannot create separation anymore. We cannot create alienation anymore. We can only create unity. We can only gather everyone under one umbrella and embrace them all. And as we embrace our brothers and sisters with love and in love, unconditional love, and give each one the freedom to be themselves, uniquely themselves, and to bring their unique talents and gifts to the greater whole, as abundance is available to everyone. Where we work together as one in the communities of light. Where we work together with Mother Earth, with all the animals and birds and the insects and the trees and the plants. You know, the trees have always been honored for the great wisdom keepers they are. They hold knowledge just like rocks hold knowledge. That's why I always touch rocks. Rocks can immediately download you information that you wouldn't even think about because they've been here forever. Just like trees. We have forgotten that there's nothing on this planet that was ever created that is not a living being. When we start to have respect for those living beings, we start having respect for ourselves. And we start having respect for all life and life forms, whether they are on this planet or at solar levels or at galactic levels or at universal levels. Because we are one family of light. We are one. Wars create more wars. Hatred creates more hatred. But you will only make war if you hate yourself. Because everything is a reflection of self. There is no other. There's only you. When you see the divinity in everyone else reflected within you, how can you go and kill anything? You can't. You only kill yourself. We are living in 2024 as huge portal is already opening, where everything is going to start disintegrating, which cannot hold form anymore. And as our consciousness rises, we will become more and more conscious of our own divinity and the divinity in all life and life forms. And the divinity within ourselves also go into every cell of your body, every DNA strand, every atom, every electron, every molecule, and not only in your physical body, your emotional, your mental, your spiritual, all 12 bodies. We will start seeing people as holistic beings, and we will start treating them as holistic beings, and we start using those methods and concepts that are within alignment of the greater whole. More than this, we will start to respect every cell, every atom, every electron, every DNA strand of all living beings. Because the DNA and the cells are living beings. The great message of the great universal and galactic councils are that we wake up now in the core of our being, because the ascension process is accelerating now, and it's up to each one of you to choose whether you wish to have a greater consciousness levels now and move into a greater form of being and be in perfect alignment with your soul purpose and being with great love. You have free will and choice. You can choose not to. That's okay. In your own time, you will get where you need to be. It might take a bit more longer. You might have to do the process on other planets and other existences. Because there's no way back. There's only way forward now. But you know what the beauty is about knowing there's only one way forward, and that's forward, is to know that you're going to get challenged. Yes, you're going to get challenged because what is this? It's cleaving you up to the core. It's showing you all those bits of you that still need healing. It's okay. But it also starts to tell you that we need to have time to assimilate all of this. We need time of rest. We need time in nature because Mother Earth is helping us to assimilate all of this as a new earth is already there. I see it in the animals. In my conversations with the whales, they were already telling me that. The dolphins, they know that. They're helping humanity. The elephants are helping. The lions are helping. I had the most beautiful encounters with the lions in the last few years. And it all started with a lioness that was shipped in from Argentina that was a circus lion all the time that she never used in the circus. She was in a little cage for 9 years of her life. And these beautiful girls from the lion sanctuary called Pantera Africa had brought her home. And they asked me to go and meet Bagheera because she asked to meet me. That is a story that I've told before, but it's a story I will tell a million times. I'd never ever communicated with a lion ever before in my life. But I communicated with her, and it's she that taught me how to communicate heart to heart and telepathy with animals. When Bagheera landed in South Africa, she had a smile on her face. She was coming home. And the girls told me that when Bagheera first saw, she didn't know what grass is. She didn't know what earth was. She'd never seen a flower in her life. She'd never seen a tree in her life. Bagheera was somebody that was set loose in paradise again. People, it's time to wake up. Bagheera was so happy to become alive again. To her, it was like being reborn. And now she had the company of other lions. I stood there and that girl said to me, "You've got to communicate with every single predator that is in this place." And I did it. And you know, the love that comes from these animals is more than I've ever experienced from any human being. And then when I was leaving, Neptune, who is the highest of the all, he's the king of the lions, turned to me with a big smile on his face. And then the lions started roaring. And it was as if the earth was shaking, the ground. The lions keep the lines open to Sirius. And Sirius holds the light, as always done. Wake up. It's time to realize that the old paradigm is gone. We are stepping into a new form of life where we need and we are going to see the divinity within every encounter, no matter what form that is in, whether it's visible or invisible. And we will find that the more we value our own divinity and live it, and find the deep inner peace and the deep serenity within ourselves, and the greatest love, that we cannot be other than this. And then we will sow the seeds of peace and serenity and unity and harmony wherever we go, because we cannot do anything other than that. There lies our greatest challenge, but also our greatest blessing. Yes, we are going to be pushed beyond all that we ever thought possible into the seeming impossible. But I'm always told this by the Universal Council, there is no limits. The limits are human-made. Everything is possible. And you are a co-creator in your own way. But in the greater universal whole, as the universe is also ascending and our galaxy is ascending and the whole solar systems and the counter galaxies and systems, yes, we have got counter galaxies and counter solar systems, etc., yes. It's time to start exploring the cosmos. And you will find that there's nothing in the cosmos that is not balanced and in harmony and whole. That is the life that we are stepping into. And such joy when we start to understand this. Such joy when we start to understand nothing is impossible. When the heart is open, boy, you've got infinity in there with your soul and your soul groups and the whole knowledge that is there universally. Why shrink yourself into this little being that feels it's hopeless? It's not. It is helpless. No, it's not. You were made to believe that, but in truth it's not. It's time to claim your own greatness. It's time to fully live your soul purpose and calling. Every single moment, every second, every minute of your life with great love. Become the change that changes the world. Become the love that loves everybody into wholeness and being as much as you love yourself into that wholeness and being. For the divine is living within you. And the divine only sees the perfection of you. Fully embrace your own soul and its infinite existence. It's time to move forward and leave the past behind. That book is closed. The key is locked. The key is thrown away. It's time for the new you, the greater you, the universal you, to now stand up and stand in your power and live your truth. May 2024. Bring all of this into your life. But more than that, love and blessings. And love is never found outside yourself. It's first found inside yourself. And then you find that inside yourself is all that you ever sought. I thank you for being on this planet with me. May the rain of blessings fall upon you. Thank you.